Hello, welcome back to part two of this video. We're discussing epistemology and religion. If you're an atheist watching this video, the question we're continuing on with is, what would you take as an acceptable level of proof or evidence that God exists? You go ahead and pause this right now and then think about or write down your own ideas and your own thoughts, and then continue on, join us. Okay, these are just a few of the answers we received. Response number one, proof that doesn't rely on faith. I would have to see her or him, she or he would have to talk to me in front of other people and show me and others undeniable proof of being a deity. Unquote. Then this person added the following quote from Bertrand Russell: "We only speak of faith when we wish to substitute emotion for evidence." Response number two, quote, I think proof that God exists is only the first step. After reading the Bible and the sacred texts of the major religions, I would need you to prove him worthy of worship. Unquote. So this person was obviously responding to arguments presented by Richard Dawkins, similar to that this God is a maniacal tyrant, dictator, being. Response number three, quote, what would you take as an acceptable level of proof or evidence that we are living in a computer simulation being controlled by unicorns? P.S. My answer was satire for a purpose. There is no externally verifiable evidence for the existence of any god or unicorns, as there are absolutely zero external observations to form a hypothesis around. There is no way to test for the existence of these things in a reproducible manner. Absence of evidence is not evidence of non-absence. Unquote. Response number four. I am both atheist and agnostic. I don't believe there is a God, but I acknowledge that I cannot prove one does not or cannot exist. Therefore, I acknowledge the possibility that gods might exist. I first would need an operational definition of God before I could begin to speculate on what evidence I would need to become convinced that a God exists. Continuing on. What exactly are we talking about when you say God? What is it composed of? What is its size and mass? How does it interact with matter and energy? Where is it? Once those questions are answered, then we can come up with experiments and tools to detect and verify it. I would want a body of scientific evidence gathered by a number of scientists. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That last sentence, just want to make a note here. That is a reference to Carl Sagan's quote. I believe he's the one who coined that phrase. Anyway, and he used it. He may be quoting someone else, but this response continues. Quote, I can tell you one thing for sure. No personal experience I could ever have of any type could convince me there is a God. I am too familiar with all the ways we can draw incorrect conclusions from personal experiences. Unquote. This last part of this last response jumped out to me. The level of skepticism seemed to be a red flag, which is concerning to me when it comes to those who apply epistemology to everything in life. And this is my point about, is this infinite regress? This is me going back to the first episode, the first video of this philosophy of religion course. So, you get to this part, you read that last line, no personal experience I could ever have of any type could convince me there is a God. Play the scary documentary music here. Dun, dun, dun. Just kidding on that one. Anyway, though they are effective tools of logic and useful for solving many problems in life, are methods of epistemology and skepticism leading to an infinite regress. And I'm going to finish on this slide. We're going to continue on for one last video. This will be a 3-part maybe